And the French top 14 season well and truly underway now, because this is the match of the night at the Stade Mayol in Toulon. It's the newly promoted Toulon against Clermont, who of course finished top in the regular season, only to have their hopes dashed of the title in the playoffs right at the end of last season. Clermont have come with a star-studded lineup, as they always do. They are in fact lacking Napolina Nalanga, so we aren't going to see the flying winger, but on the other hand, they have got two who could quite easily take their place in any World 11 in Rougerie and Malzieu. Also in their lineup, Benoit Babi, who's going to be playing at fullback, Brock James, top scorer in the top 14 last season, and Pierre Mignoni, who many feel is unfortunate not to be a regular member of the French international side these days, will be playing at scrum half. They also have that great leader of packs, the Argentine hooker Mario Ledesma. Now they say it's going to be his last season, but on the other hand, maybe not. You never know with Mario Ledesma. Toulon, on the other hand, well, they've been established in top 14 before, but they're making their way back up into the higher echelons. Just look at the lineup here, and one name absolutely jumps out at you, Jamie Salmon, from that lineup. Number 8, Jerry Collins.
Yes, and a number you don't normally associate with Jerry Collins. Normally a number 6, played all his rugby in New Zealand at 6, so he's got to be the man that carries this pack, I think, tonight. He's the one that's got to lead by example and really get them going forward.
8 men on the bench this season, and Matt Henjak there is the reserve scrum half at 23, man who's got a bit of recuperation required to get his reputation back. This is Clermont. We're talking about star-studded names, and there you see Gonzalo Canale, the Italian centre at 13. Alexandre is a man that they think an awful lot of. Fabian Alexandre is going to be playing at 7, and that's a bit of a switch, because we thought for a moment that he would be at 6. Instead, that's Etienne, who's also captain tonight. They are the 8 replacements. Jeremiah Bai is going to be playing with a 20 on his back. He's the man who Clermont brought in to replace Stephen Jones a couple of years ago. And the Fijian, he really hasn't done the business in top 14. It was touch and go whether we're going to keep him at the end of last season. But I think in the end, with Alex King getting injured and having to go onto the training staff, Jamie, it meant that Jeremiah Bai was got a contract for another year.
Yes, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. It was due to the fact that Alex King could no longer carry on because of his long-standing knee injury that Bai has got probably his 3rd chance now, I would suggest.
So we're just waiting at the Stade Mayol, the atmosphere building. They've been waiting for this for what? How long did the close season last in France? About 2 months, was it?
No longer, that's for sure. Yes, they certainly have, and they've obviously been busy in the transfer market. And the likes of Sonny Bill Williams, who didn't come quietly, that's for sure, from Australia, did he? Yeah, the Canterbury Bulldog Rugby League player, and big tug-of-war involved with Sonny Bill Williams, and eventually he did play in one of the pre-season friendlies for Toulon. And so we're going to have to wait and see whether that will actually be dragged through the courts or whether it will be settled. I guess that now it might as well be settled out of court rather than having to go through all the legal procedure. I think it pretty much has been now.
The stumbling block, of course, was just how much do you pay for 4 years of a 5-year contract. But there's Rougerie, Aurélien Rougerie, 55 caps for France, and he is the man who's in the lineup. There's Jerry Collins. So Collins making his debut since the World Cup, of course. He's been around a bit. He played a bit of rugby league unofficially. Nobody was supposed to know about that, but he did. Also played a game for Barnstaple Seconds down in Devon when he was on a visit down there, which led a lot of people to believe that he would actually be playing his rugby in the UK this season. It's not going to happen. Here he is at Toulon. Crowd in a moment. We'll get first view of the teams. Stade Mayol, which is a lick of paint and a few other touches just to make sure that it's in prime condition for the top 14. And then they go and ruin it with fireworks just to make sure that the atmosphere is absolutely right. So Jerry Collins going to be playing at 8. Interesting for Toulon. Phil Fitzgerald at hooker. Don't hear a lot about Phil Fitzgerald. He's Scottish qualified, obviously born in Stirling. Played nearly all his rugby over in France, but it's very, very rarely got mentioned when Scotland have looked a bit shaky in the front row.
Absolutely, you have to presume that Scotland have done their research and looked long and hard at him and decided that they're not going to ship him back to Edinburgh. But he's the leader, he's the man that's got to set the tone tonight for his team. Big responsibility on him.
Also in that front row, they've got Ben Castle, the junior All Black, making his debut. In fact, that's going to be a pretty familiar theme throughout this match, you can bet. Another guy comes on, especially off the bench. We've got 4 or 5 who are Toulon, who are making their first starts in top 14 tonight for Toulon. Referee Monsieur Beldos, he gets things underway, and a little bit of a shimmy from Brock James, and Toulon immediately break, and they break very effectively as well. Marc Andreu, and this is Martin Jager, the Czech international, who just bundled into touch.
Well, I think he's come back for a forward pass for that wonderful run right from the kickoff. I mean, the huge hole right up the middle of Clermont Auvergne, and he does really well to find Andreu on the right-hand side, but the referee deems it forward. So we're going to come back for the Clermont scrum, first scrum of the night, obviously. And this is an area where Toulon, I think, will be very tested. The likes of Emanuele and Zierakashvili are very experienced in that front row.
And Toulon immediately penalised in the scrum. Quickly taken. Plenty over. Another man to go for Clermont if they wanted to. And they decided that they didn't. That's Benoit Babi, who's coming back from a bad injury. He always seems to be coming back from a bad injury, but this time he looks as though he's made it, looks fully fit. They've been training, done a lot of their training over in the States, Clermont Auvergne. Actually took on the States in North Carolina and beat them, the international side. That's the 22. 3 with the tackle, Ben Castle. Now he's just lurking with a little bit of intent, but the ball comes nowhere near him. 6 going in there with the long hair is Toivalu. Oddly enough, born in Tarbes. So, good opening pace to this game. Here goes Mignoni, trying to set Clermont up. First opportunity at the post, and that's over from Brock James, and he's starting where he left off last season.
He certainly is. He doesn't mind sitting back in that pocket and getting the scoreboard moving, that's for sure. And great ball retention from Clermont Auvergne. Took their time, stayed patient. They've got great experience with the likes of Mignoni and James and Bonaire at the base there.
So it all started so well for Toulon with the winger Andreu setting off across field, feeding it out for Jager, and Jager just being bundled into touch even though the ball had gone forward. But they looked enterprising, they looked as though they were up for it, ready to take the game to Clermont Auvergne, but Clermont Auvergne just gave them a good spanking and sent them back again.
Well, Clermont offer threats all over the park. We mentioned, that the half-backs and Bonaire at 8, but the likes of Rougerie and Mauzy on the wings, they're going to pose some questions.
First touch for Jerry Collins, but Olivier Grimaud can't hold on to it. There's Tana Remanga, now head coach at Toulon. That's Collins' pass for Grimaud. Grimaud been suffering a bit in the week, had a rather unpleasant injury, which they seem to have sorted out now. He's certainly fit enough to give it a go for an hour or so.
Well, Collins will be disappointed with that pass. It certainly wasn't right in front of Grimaud, the fullback, who was coming at pace, and there certainly was an opportunity there. Set piece again.
Mignoni gets it away. using the centres coming through with Garcia.
Non, vous mettez un genou au sol. Debout. Vous mettez un genou au sol.
Stay on your feet.
Notre équipe conteste. Debout.
Vern Cotter in the stands. Ramiro Pez. He's been a bit of a journeyman. He's been around Rotherham, Bath, Leicester in the UK. And Toulon filled a hole at number 10 there. And put him in, having brought him back from Venice.
Yeah, well, they let Mertens go, didn't they? This is the penalty. Clermont not staying on their feet, going to ground. And referee Burdos penalising them. I think Toulon are going to have to tackle really well tonight. They've got to make sure their first up tackles are absolutely spot on, because if they don't do that, then Clermont will capitalise.
Lovely flat pass there. And, Toulon through Norman Jourdain, who's the South African scrum half. Very busy, keeping Henjak out of the team, even though he's a veteran now at 33. On again through Pez, and the break on now from Andre. And Andre, one man to beat. No, they close him down brilliantly. Malzieu comes across and puts the tackle in. And the ball, I think, just nudged forward out of that, according to referee Burdos. But he's a live wire, isn't he? He's only 22.
There's not much of him either. Rougerie is a man mounted up against him. I mean, huge in comparison to Andrea, but he's a little stepper, isn't he? And he's a little jinker in the sort of Shane Williams type mould. He's not quite in Shane Williams' league, but he's of that ilk.
He's got a bit to go yet. He's only 22. He's only 5'7".
Crooked feed. Oh, well, in the first 5 minutes, or just after 5 minutes, often you see that. Chance for Toulon.
Here goes Collins. And Collins suddenly presented with it and thought about the pass, and then decided, no, he better do it himself. In again goes Tovalu, and this time it's Toulon. That's wasteful, because having been given the ball, they really had to do something with it, but it was all a bit hurried and ill thought out, and Jerry Collins suddenly presented with it in his bread basket, didn't know what to do.
Yeah, and it's a pity, because if they could just spend 2 or 3 minutes in the Clermont 22 and just consolidate down there, really, and just ask some questions of Clermont. Don't make it easy for Clermont to clear their lines, which is obviously just what they've done. They mustn't give away soft penalties, especially when they're in possession. Toulon had control of the ball.
Yeah.
Merci.
So
Attendez, deux ballons.
Brock James having cleared away downfield.
Deux ballons, messieurs.
Clermont still leading through that drop goal. Mario Ledesma. Great interview with him the other day, where he said the one thing he doesn't like is training. Detests training.
Oui, c'est lâché. Si on en a vendu 4 jaunes.
Well, he certainly hasn't had much of a break in between seasons. Ledesma played for Argentina against South Africa a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they just ran out of steam. Yeah. I mean, that was it was a fixture too far for them, wasn't it? They'd already gone down to Scotland, they'd already gone down to Italy, then they had a long break, then they got to go and take on South Africa in their own backyard. No, thank you. It was the first time that he started with his brother, who's up at Stade Francais, Pedro. But Pedro went off after about 6-7 minutes. Bad knee ligament injury, and he's certainly not going to start the season. So Toulon snap onto it again. Jose Suter. Collins doing a lot of the grubbing about, finding the ball and taking it on a metre or two. Jourdain trying to keep his pack on its feet.
It's not going very far forward though at the moment, is it? This catch and drive, or this just going around the fringes isn't exactly making holes in the Clermont defence. They're used to this. They can, the likes of Alexandre and Etienne, the back rowers, they can make tackles all day. But go wider.
At Jamie Salmon's bidding, they try their best, but Clermont in there, good cover on that far side, because they'd actually packed the midfield and then suddenly they'd spread as well. Variation on a theme, and pretty well done. Bonmoir Babi comes in, picks up bravely. Mignoni, Brock James, amazing. I always find it incredible about Brock James, the amount of space that he creates for himself. is Ramiro Pez with the left peg.
Ok. No, jaune, 7, jaune.
Got to have been one of the best fly halves in the world
No, no.
over the last few years, Brock James. Amazing that Australia haven't had another look at him.
7.
Well, the ping pong's going on here, the kicking game. Nobody wants to kick it out and concede the line out. And Brock James is a fairly patient man, and I think he'll be quite happy to do this most of the day. Finally, he relents, and Toulon will get the throw. But for the last 5 minutes or so, Toulon have had most of the ball and haven't really looked like making holes or putting great pressure on the Clermont defence. They've probably got to be a bit more creative. A little switch in the middle there, bringing back Kefu, the big centre. Look, 2-3 Clermont players on him straight away. That's what Clermont do. They really do put pressure on you, and you've really got to make sure you've got a bit of breadth about you. Don't just go up the middle.
Phil Fitzgerald, 31 years old, from Stirling, hooking for Toulon. He relished this. He went up with Toulon 4 or 5 years ago when they previously came up into the top flight. Pretty soon went down again, of course, but now he's done it again.
Yeah, well, decision time now for the captain, Fitzgerald. What's he going to do? Drill it in the corner, or ask his man to have a dart through the posts?
Well, he must be pretty satisfied with the way that the line-out's going at the moment, because they've taken a couple. There's one, which is Toivalu.
Yeah, unfortunately, Jourdain made the wrong option there. Got no change from the Clermont defence, but they've got the penalty, and Pez is going to have a go. He's pretty good for distance, Pez. He's got a fair boot on him.
And that is a fair distance, 49 metres. So this will level things up. Ramiro Pez spent so much of his career in the shadow of Diego Dominguez, of course. He's always seemed to be his understudy, and then never really trained on once Dominguez eventually called it a day. But he could make a name for himself this season. Toulon need every kick they can get. And that's gone haywire. Never in control of that. So Pez missed penalty. Remains 3-0. Clermont leading. Clermont, of course, with this unenviable record of legions of playoff finals and not being able to finish the job. Whereas Toulouse come through with late runs and seemingly rather like wasps time their season to perfection. Jourdain for Collins. Going to be an interesting partnership. I wonder if that's exactly why they put Collins at 8. Something we'll no doubt find out when Umanga gives his views at the end of the game. There's an interesting interview with Umanga during the week, during last week, and he was asked, are you going to put your boots on again if necessary, if things don't go quite right? We'd be tempted? And an emphatic no, definitely not.
Very sensible chap. Look at the 7 Clermont players chasing there. You know, these patterns, they've been rehearsed over a long time. You can see them coming back to halfway now, regrouping, getting organised, knowing exactly what's what. There's the mistake. There, they're down on it. Changeover ball.
Well, Mignoni, for the moment, is going to try and take advantage of Clermont having snapped onto it. Snaffled away by Toulon. Good work there by Kefu. Here he comes again. They love him. Marc Andrew. Good tackle coming in from Fitzgerald. Mignoni. Chance for one of his flyers to have a go down the far side.
Typical Mignoni, wasn't he? He knew Andrew had taken the ball into the contact area. Nobody had filled the hole on the left wing, so a little chip over the top. Let's just play it down there, guys. Get into their 22 again. Yeah, that's Mignoni who's got that vision. There's Kefu ripping the ball out of the contact area, doing a great job there to the embarrassment. I think it was Canali who took it in for Clermont. And this is a challenging line out for Toulon.
Not sure how straight that was, but I think Fitzgerald's got away with it. Norman Judin, ex-Western Province.
And now it's Clermont's throw there, and look where they are, just outside their 22. There's no distance on that kick whatsoever from Jourdain. That's where Clermont, get it right. And Tana, that notebook might get pretty full. And we're 15 minutes into it. Interesting little cubby holes they've got there to look out on, isn't it? Really?
Looks like a cricket scoreboard, doesn't it? You're just peering out, see what's going on. There goes Garcia, Pierre-Emmanuel Garcia.
There's more pace about Clermont, isn't there, when they take the ball going forward?
Tavurikashvili is having a little scrape for it here, with Etienne right with him, doing a bit of the power lifting. Manueli. 13 was Kefu again, trying to do his ripping the ball away, didn't work that time. Mignoni. Now a bit of space opened up for Clermont. And suddenly, instead of just letting the ball take the drift out to the right, decide to change the option, and that is the result. Straight into trouble.
Yes, well, they dragged Toulon one side, and they've forgotten the golden rule is to put it down the other, rather than come back. And it's Babi who's the culprit this time, going to ground. He probably could have penalised them for holding on as well. And Pez's got to find a decent touch here. You just wonder about the kicking game of Toulon. I'm not sure what they're like on distance kicks. Brock James has got a big kick. This is Babi again, going absolutely nowhere. Good tackle by the big lock forward there, Suta. But I just wonder about the kicking game already from Toulon. Have they got some big kickers who can drill it 30, 40, 50? Last year they had, I know they were playing second division last year, but they had Mertens, who is a 50, 60 metre man. He can boot the ball a long way. He's been allowed to go to Racing Metro in Paris in the second division this year. And you just need guys, I think, who can kick it 40, 50 metres and get you onto their 10 metre line rather than on yours.
So Valu getting a bit of attention.
Better haircut than Cheval's. Well, not haircut, hairstyle, I should say. There's not a lot of cutting going on, but it's a Cheval certainly long at the back. This chap's gone a bit longer.
So Fitzgerald just being held up here. Oh, scrappy. After it is Alexandra. Clermont doing everything in a rush, in a hurry, but they still have plenty of time when they grab the ball back off Toulon. They still have plenty of time to actually think about which way they're going next. Here comes Babu once more. Queuing up. Oh, referees. I think it was a call from the touch judge. Must have been, I think.
But it came from a bad kick, didn't it, from Toulon? A clearing kick. Oh, I tell you what, that's pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. But look at the pressure again, once again. Canali coming up through the middle. They are a very good chasing side, Clermont. Here's the pass again in slow-mo. Probably is marginally forward, actually, having seen it from that angle. Now you wonder the set pieces, how are Toulon going to cope? This is their ball, they've got to get clean ball, but this is a very experienced pack, especially the front five and front row from Clermont. They've been through many battles themselves, and you just wonder if this front five from Toulon's going to be able to cope. Well, they didn't cope, that's the answer there. Great pressure from Clermont, ominous sign that for Toulon. That'll be disconcerting for not just the coaches but the whole crowd. And as I mentioned before, Tavurikashvili and Emanuele and Ledesma, that front row, they've had lots of people in their hands, haven't they, over the years in the set piece, and it gives Brock James his first kicking chance from a penalty anyway. He's had a drop kick. Except it's not Brock James this time, it's Babby. Give him to Babby. It's an interesting one, isn't it?
It's not usually a question of Brock James not having the distance, but Babby is a big kicker, no doubt about that. Just hasn't got the direction.
Or the distance.
Yeah, not quite. So that's a penalty apiece miss now. Pez having missed one earlier on for Toulon. And here's Pez, ball in hand. 18.5 minutes gone.
So he kicked that long. It's very luckily got into touch and bounced over Julien Bonnet hand, but he'd taken a quick one. But that was meant to be a long dropout, and it just got over the halfway line. The normal kickers, you see it more towards the opposition 22, don't you?
He's saying that was touched by Bonnet before it went out. And
you'd be right.
I think he probably was right, yeah. Jean-Jacques Krenka, who's assistant to Tana Umanga. Fitzgerald. Well, we'll have a chat about hooking and throwing in at some stage, I'm sure. Brock James gets pushed away out of it and then comes in from an offside position, surely.
I think he's going to give Clermont offside, is he? Yes, he is, in front. He is. Now then, this is very kickable, and this hasn't got to go over, obviously, but it certainly would settle the nerves somewhat, because they don't look... They look disjointed, Toulon. They don't look as though the backs and forwards really know what they are. There it is, Brock James, yeah.
He got shoved out and then didn't retreat, just as soon as he managed to regain his balance, he started going forwards again.
It's very noble of him to want to tackle Jerry Collins, though, isn't it? And set the example. Pez, 0 from 1. This one is, well, I suppose it's not much less for distance, but it's certainly more central.
Don't know if you get a read. Did you see a reading on this kick? I mean, it can't be far short of, obviously, it's the top 40s, isn't it? Sounded all right, but the direction's gone again.
Gone the other side.
That's the second time that Pez has missed the opportunity of putting Toulon level. And it remains Clermont d'Auvergne 3, Toulon 0. Here in the Stade Mayol. Live on Eurosport, top 14, back in your living rooms once again.
Look at the height on that from Brock James. Look at the height and look at the chasing. That's the pressure.
It's the simplest thing. It's the first thing you're ever taught in any ball game. Keep your eye on the ball, and even experienced characters like this make those kind of mistakes. Referee Beldos doing a good job, because it's a fast-moving game and he's keeping up with it brilliantly well. Collins finds it, away he goes. This is Andrew, not had much of a show in the last 10 minutes or so. Toulon just trying to feed it back, but good disruption, or eventually penalised by the referee for just knocking it forward, Clermont. Thibaut Privat, 6'7" and about 18 stone of him, towering over the referee there. And this is Rougerie. This is the little fella, 5'7", 11 stone 12. Comes from the Mediterranean coast down at Fréjus.
Well, Jerry Collins did really well there. He pretty much knew that his scrum was going to go backwards, so he just called channel 1 ball, picked up from the base, and try and start again, because they're certainly in trouble in the scrummage, Toulon. And that's why I'm not sure going around the fringes is exactly the best, the best tactic to employ, especially in your own half. And there's proof of the pudding.
Yeah, Mignoni straight in there, wants to go.
Now, whether Babby will have another go, Ledesma's having a bit of a say. I was surprised Rougery's not captain again this year. I don't know what whether he said I've had enough or what, but I thought he did a good job last year. I know they lost the final, but I thought he did a reasonable job for Clermont last year. Popular figure, obviously hugely popular figure within the club. And he's decided to, I don't know if he's decided to relinquish it, or Vern Cotter said, I'm going to go up front this year.
Yeah, last year he gave it to Bonaire a few times, didn't he? In fact, wasn't Bonaire captain in the final? I think Bonaire actually captained in the final, or maybe he was just forwards captain and Rougerie was looking after the back. Yeah, but certainly Bonaire had a few goes.
What a bad kick there, was it? Look at that. Lovely. 6 metres out, and Ledesma will do everything he can to find his man, and I think try and whip round and get the ball again, knowing Ledesma.
Good take there by Christophe Samson, the man they call Goliath. Plenty of power in that Clermont pack. It's almost a question of throwing the switch, and the turbocharger comes on and they go lumbering forwards, and Toulon haven't got an answer. Ball still short of the line despite that breakaway group there. Alexandra trying to haul a few out, and in the end the referee says no. Just make sure you know where you're coming from. And Toulon, for a moment, have got away with it. But it's another scrum which Toulon have got to endure.
Well, major problems here for Toulon. Much as they did, well, they were very staunch in their defence from the line out, but no surprise that Clermont are going to go for an 8-man shove here and make this a very awkward ball for Toulon to get away. Big pressure here on Collins. This is where he's going to earn his money. Staying cool and calm, picking that ball up, taking it around the fringe to reset again. Here's the pressure, here's Collins.
Collins immediately tackled by Alexandra, and coming in over the top.
Cerise, I think it was. The 7, quickly taken.
Very quickly taken. There goes Garcia looking to break through. Brock James just puts it on the deck because he spotted something. I think the referee... The referee was going to call them back.
Well, I thought the first knock-on was Clermont's. Myself, I thought it was there. Maybe knocked out of his hands by Andra. But it gives another scrum, and Toulon don't need scrummaging, do they? They don't want scrummages.
No, they've had a pretty rough time down there in the set scrums. Been pushed around a little bit too much for comfort.
Well, they've got 2 props on the bench, and they may have to come out sooner rather than later.
They've got 2 props in Bonquet and Leroy, and of course they've got another. They've got a South African hooker as well, Tien Liebenberg. Got a Fitzgerald's doing a good job. He's doing a decent job throwing in. He's throwing in straight. Hasn't got the fairly common hooker's affliction. Seems to be endemic just around the clubs of the UK at the moment.
Well, they went low there, Toulon, didn't they? They purposely took that scrum very, very low to try and prevent the Clermont drive. This is a bit higher, so they'll get a drive on here, Clermont.
Well worked. And good by Toivalu, but the referee whistled him up. Just for a moment I thought the Bonaire was going to be able to snap onto that and get away.
How many minutes have we been in the Toulon 2022? Probably 6 or 7 now, isn't it? And this is where suddenly it's Mignoni's ball to the scrum, and this is where the pressure could tell. Suddenly it's all on for Toulon now. They've got to weather this storm somehow.
Away they come. Now they've got a bit of room. One more man to go. Great pass for Rougerie, and Rougerie dots it down. Had to be, in the absence of Nalanga, who else was going to score tries for Clermont, and getting them off the mark in that try-scoring box, former captain Aurélien Rougerie.
Well, they wheel the scrum to the left to create the space as well. The Toulon forwards know full well they can't pick it up early because their scrum's going backwards all the time. It leaves acres of space. It's almost impossible to defend when you wheel it that side. Mignoni once again central to the whole cause. It's just a question of repeating what you do on the training field. Draw the man, give the pass, and make sure it's in front of him. And he can catch it, no problem at all. And Rougerie's got safe hands. It wasn't a brilliant pass by Babi, that's for sure, but very catchable by Rougerie. And the big wing is in the corner for the first try. It was coming, wasn't it?
Definitely. They would have been very, very disappointed if they'd been repelled on, having spent so much time camped down there in that 22.
The first time it was their put-in, they scored. It has always been Toulon's put-in prior to that. The first time they got the switch over to their put-in, was no problem at all.
Babi has a go at this one, and it seemed to go over the top of the post from my angle, but given by the touch judges, and they're up into double figures.
You can see how Toulon are wheeled to their right, which creates the extra space, and it's a 3-on-2. There's no more than that. It's very simple stuff. You just draw the man and give the pass. 3-on-2s, 4-on-3s, 2-on-1s. They do the drills every week.
That's standard movement, isn't it? You see it in every warm-up before every game. In fact, virtually every game you see Rougerie score a try like that. Phenomenal record. So running from the back, Martin Jaeger. Not seen too much of him since the early stages. Benoit Babi.
It was a poor kick. They've taken it quickly, Toulon. And their kicking game, I know I've been critical of it, I just don't think it's up to high standards at the moment.
No, that's a better kick. Because that was Brock James hitting it with the outside of the boot. He's actually overcooked it, but you see what he was trying to do. He was actually going to put the defenders in real trouble by bending it in the air. He clipped it with the outside of the boot to make it swerve, but the bounce didn't work out for him.
Once again, you saw in that replay the chasing game of Clermont. It's really drilled into them. They just chase every kick, but they chase in numbers and in a flat line. Here's a long restart again, a bit longer this time, but just over the opposition 10-metre line isn't huge.
Babi, that's got some height on it. See how much time he had to get up there. Babi on pairs, and then Alexandre coming in as well.
He's a bit unlucky there, Alexandre, I thought. I thought he did really well there. He was on his feet initially. Just outside the 22 this time. Let's see what sort of distance he gets on his punts.
Well, better. Much better.
He middled that one, and he took the high ball. Fair play to him. He took responsibility for it. He's on his feet there, you see. He gets pushed over by his mates, doesn't he, Alexandre? Hence why he gets the penalty. But Pez has middled the kick, and now they're in the 22. Now can they take advantage? It's their ball, obviously, coming from a penalty, and they've got to be constructive here.
Phil Fitzgerald did a law degree at Edinburgh University in his younger days. Just under 10 years ago now. Collins again, preferred receiver in the line-out. Jardin doing a bit of bossing.
Hasn't gone too well since he caught it though, has it?
No, they needed to get it out of there a lot quicker because that ball needed to be moving. Look at the number of Clermont men who are caught up in there, and now they're being freed up. 3-on-3 was Sirikashvili on Castle.
That's better. They got 2 or 3 yards then. They've got to be a bit more dynamic.
No, they got some opportunity, just didn't flick the ball on fast enough from Tusi-Pisi.
Yeah, it's just not quite working out for the midfield, is it? As it goes to ground, it goes forward. And the Clermont scrum is not going to be in difficulty, is it? They should get the ball, get back to Brock James, make your 30, 40, 50 metres. Hello. Oh,
he doesn't want 6, he wants 8, which is Collins.
This is Collins.
Collins and Privat.
Allez, on en a avant d'un rouge, on y met les jaunes. Merci, Claude. Bon, pas de ballon, pas de ballon.
We haven't got a ball.
Touché.
Yes, we have.
Stop, entrée.
Mignoni's been hiding with it.
Non, derrière, neuf.
Comfortable scrum, wasn't it? Good ball. Drill it down the left-hand side. Is it going to go too far now? Now the pressure's on Clermont to make a good touch. How much yardage have they made?
Non. Sortez, sortez.
He's lucky, he's lucky.
Hops in. But Clermont, refreshing willingness just to get hold of the ball and run with it. This is Zirakashvili, Georgian prop. Seems to have been around forever, but he's still only 24. Unlucky with the bounce there.
Ça se calme. C'est volontaire.
That was actually Bonaire with the little chip
C'est
over.
volontaire. Vous allez au ballon. Par contre, il y en a avant d'un jaune. Ça sera une mêlée noire.
Cultured, wasn't it? Very cultured. Bounce the ball, just eludes him. Etienne, I think that is, who's just trying to scoop it up. And just evades him as well. Toulon get a scrum. And they're going to need channel one ball, get it away quick. They can try and get and ask some questions to Canali and Garcia in the midfield. No, they're going to drill it down again. Not good, is it? Look, all the time in the world for Babi.
Yeah, been a feature of their play. They've well, Toulon have been kicking it away for a start, but also Clermont have been given so much time to do what they like with it. So there we are. We've got just about 7 minutes to go to the break, and Clermont leading by 10 points to 0.
Well, from a Toulon scrum, just around their 10-metre line, a bad kick, and they're on their 22 again and under pressure. They know they can't make mistakes because, having said that, they just make one and it's not straight. And because of the scrummaging situation.
Yep. Yeah, it starts to undermine everything, doesn't it? Gets through to you. Well, that was the first ROM from Fitzgerald, which hasn't gone straight. Seen ref let those go. Usually when I've been playing on the other side.
Well, it may be a fussy touch judge this side as well who's giving the nod to the ref, although the ref was at the back of the line out. But anyway.
Yeah, ref's call there, Jamie.
Yeah. Defending to do for Toulon. They certainly don't want to concede again before half-time and go in, 15 points down at home in the first league game of the season.
Mignoni, James drops it, he's given it. I thought that went backwards, but the referee, Monsieur Berdos, says no, it didn't, went forwards. Let's have another scrum, and Toulon be saying, not another scrum.
Well, it depends a lot, really, how... it probably did go forward, that one. How hungry Zirakashvili and Emmanuel are to make life a real misery for this Toulon front row.
Yeah, they're still hungry. Collins having to pick it up while going backwards, and just trying to see who it was who he's
Etienne, I think.
Etienne.
Yeah, I think detached from the scrum. I think he's not bound.
He's not, there he is. Yeah. He's gone there. Yeah.
That's what the referee's given it for.
Pez to Babi.
No.
Had to make touch. He had to make touch and give them the line out. He had to do it. Now it's a 22. What do they do here? Oh, he's gone dead. I beg your pardon. Gone dead from the kick. So they're lucky they get away with that one. If you look at the bench of Clermont, they won't be too fast, will they? This is bonus issue, this, for Toulon. If they can get quick ball, certainly they don't want it lingering, but they need quick Channel A ball.
Referee.
No.
Crooked feed. He's done both sides now. Toulon get it back. Scrappy, but maybe they might be able to turn something up with this one. Jourdan there. Pez got a good pass off his right hand, not so hot off his left. There goes Bavi. Now then, Andrew. Whistle's already gone, so that was a bit unnecessary.
Well, the best back line move they put together is a miss two. They missed the outside centre and put it into Clermont, who gave Andrew another chance to go at Rougerie, and Rougerie only just got him, that's for sure. Rougerie on the angle certainly helped, but look at the size differential between these two wingers. There's Rougerie, goes a bit high, and well done Andrew, but it goes forward again there.
Yeah, hits the deck and off it bounces. So 3 minutes to go. Toulon anxious to get on the board before half-time. Crowd still giving them plenty of support, willing them on. Pulled something out of the bag before the break, but Clermont dealing with everything that Toulon thrown at them so far. That's the man who the crowd are really warm to, Marc Andrew. A kick across field, which Malzieu, I think, deliberately drops there. Malzieu again. Just shows you that that's really spirited stuff from Toulon, and it's all because the crowd's behind them.
Yeah, and Andrew's over again. That's Jagger making the tackle, but look at the fellow who comes across in the end as well. There he is, number 11, smallest man on the park virtually. He's across.
Toss up between him and Mignoni. Mignoni's not much bigger.
Well, the think tank from Toulon, they've got a busy half-time ahead of them. What are they going to do about the front row, and what are they going to do about the tactics?
Lost that one as well. Emanuele goes down. Clermont got to try and find it from under that pile of bodies. Mignoni does.
Collins is a miles offside he was.
He almost got James as well. Goes Grimaud. Canale almost landed on that. Judan, Pez. All gone.
Pity it was on out left for Toulon. Just got a bit frantic.
Yeah, they were going the right way. That's the problem with having an outside half who's very, very good pass going off his right, not so hot off his left, because you know he ain't going to trouble you when he's coming the other way. So the cover just stacks up across the field.
And I'm not sure the centres that their hands is their natural game, and by that I mean it doesn't come comfortably to the likes of Cafu in terms of the ball handling skills and taking it early and getting rid of it early. And we look at Garcia making the tackle for Clermont, and that's the bad control of the ball. Well, actually Grimaud gets injured there, so that's why I let go of the ball. He's the man who's been receiving treatment, and you can understand why when you see that that leg get put sideways somewhat.
You know, he said he's been having treatment in the week leading up to this game, and touch and go whether he was actually going to be fit. That's a twisted knee, which I think will mean that he's probably seen the last of the action. Might give him a see if he can run it off in the few minutes before the break.
Turner's ready to go down the tunnel and give out directions, just waiting for the whistle to go, whether they'll have another chance to restart this first half. The clock's obviously stopped. I think there was a minute or so left, I think, or it was pretty close to half-time, but they'll have to add this on. Replacement, that's our man Sonny Bill, I think.
Sonny Bill Williams.
That's him.
Got his contract at Toulon until June 2010.
He's coming on. The man who's caused so much controversy and a lot of anger back in Australia when he made the switch. Certainly upset a lot of people in league and union in Australia for the manner in which he did it. But Grima, the fullback, comes off. So it'll be interesting how they reshape this back line now, because Williams has warm-up games and he's not played a lot of union this time.
No, so this is only his fourth game. Third game actually, because he didn't play in the first one, did he? The first warm-up. So Clermont. 45 seconds to go. Ball just knocked forwards.
Well, I think they've got to play him in the centre. I don't think they can ask him to play fullback. No. I'd put Kefu back there. Just checking who lines up here. Who lines up where, even?
Milieu. Flexion. Touché. Stop. Entrée. Non, neuf. Ne vous bataillez pas. Neuf, vous êtes en avance. Non, derrière. Lui, troisième ligne. Non, non, non.
Zidane just caught there at the base of the scrum. Toulon really struggling whenever it goes into the set piece.
Oh.
Through to go, so they'll probably just have a pop of the posts here.
Well, Tyler's not bothering to watch the kick to see if his team go down 13 or 10-0 down at half time.
Bobby lines this one up. Missed the penalty. Got a conversion. Little chip, and where are the flags? They're up. 13-0 it is for Clermont at half-time, and they'll be pretty pleased with the way that first half has gone. They've kept control of it.
They certainly have. Very comfortable indeed. They never looked in real danger. I can't remember a clear-cut opportunity for Toulon, never threatening their line. They missed 2 long-distance penalties, but Clermont looked very comfortable indeed, and Toulon got it all to do at home in this first game.
But James drop goal, a Rougerie try, and then Babi with a conversion and a penalty. That's how Clermont are leading 13-0 at half-time here in the Stade Mayol in Toulon. And teams coming out for the second half at the Stade Mayol in Toulon. Toulon newly promoted to the French top 14, trailing at half-time 13-0 to the side which finished top of the top 14 in the regular season. Lost out in terms of the title in the playoffs to Toulouse. But here, leading by 13 points to 0. Brock James played a major part at outside half, and Aurélien Rougerie, former captain here on the wing, has also made his mark on the game with the try which pushed them up to 8-0, and Benoit Babi with a conversion and a penalty, plus a Brock James drop goal equates to 13 very valuable points. Now the question I suspect in the second half is whether Clermont simply go through the motions and say, okay, we can wrap this game up, and then we'll start talking about bonus points towards the end of the game, or whether they, in their usual fashion, decide that they're going to play in a flamboyant manner, because they do like to throw it around, Jamie.
Yes, they certainly do, and McNerney will probably decide the course of action, knowing him at scrum half. Certainly initially they're looking to play it down there, and certainly can't see too much kicking coming from Toulon after what they did in the first half.
Well picked up there, and away goes Fitzgerald, and what on earth happened here? All of a sudden, Sonny Boy Williams snaps onto the loose ball, breaks away downfield, and the man who came on with about 30 seconds of the first half to go has opened up his top 14 account in splendid style, catching everybody unaware. Suddenly the ball was free and he got it.
Well, this is Andra who does the little chip over the top, and I think Clermont stopped for a knock-on somewhere, probably there, if not there. But Sonny Bill Williams certainly shows a clean pair of heels, doesn't he? And suddenly this game's alive again. This is the live wire. Andra going up for the ball. That's where they thought it was a knock-on, but it came off the knee, it seemed to. And here comes the boy wonder, and dots down very comfortably.
Unbelievable start of the second half. And Sonny Bill Williams, we weren't quite sure where he was going to play at one stage, suddenly injects a whole new dimension into this game. Now Pez. Toulon need you, Ramiro Pez, to add the extras here. And he does. The crowd behind told you immediately that that was bang on target.
Well, it's somewhat ironic as the crowd certainly get into the game, and the head coach, Tanramanga, certainly will be a lot happier. But ironic that it came from the left wing, Andrew, who did that kick. First time a kick of Toulon has been able to be challenged. They can go up for the ball with a Clermont player. That created the mistake, that challenge there. And he picked it well off his ankles, didn't he? Williams, and he scoots in, no problem at all. Well, he's paid back some of his money, I suspect, but he needs to do a bit more because the difference is still 6 points.
I'm just looking at how much it's cost to settle up that contract, about $750,000, apparently, to tell the Canterbury Bulldogs to forget about the last 4 years of his contract.
Well, suddenly Clermont in disarray, and of all people, Rougerie just ignored that high ball. Absolutely ignored it. And it obviously can bounce anywhere, but it's gone forward off Toulon on this occasion. That's the challenge once again. They're probably debating. I think that's the knee or the leg. I don't think it's hands, because Clermont certainly stopped.
No.
But this is the area that they've got issues, Toulon.
I think one of the things which Umanga has pointed out at half-time was if you're going to kick, then kick it in such a fashion that you give yourself a chance to get underneath it when it comes down. That's first lesson. So there's been a couple of those, and Clermont looked a little bit shaky under the high ball. The second one will probably be Krenker's job to actually get some kind of enthusiasm into this pack, which means that they're going to be competing in a more or less equal manner. Certainly a different Toulon side that's come out in this second half. Long probing kick from James. Babi running into trouble, put his hand up, put his hand on his own man there. Rougerie trying to find a way through. Bonaire on for Dirakashvili. And as soon as they've upped the tempo, started playing with a bit of confidence, all as a result of that Sonny Bill Williams try, the decisions start going for them.
And Clermont have lost their shape, they've lost their composure, they've held on to the ball on the ground, they'll fall into the ground, and Toulon quite rightly going to put the pressure straight back on Clermont. They'll obviously get the throw here from the penalty, and Pez is having a word with his scrum half as to what they're going to do, and Vern Cotter on the right there from Clermont obviously thought he didn't have to give much for team talk.
See how this one goes. It's Lozada who's turned. Substitute prop is Bonquet, David Bonquet. Toulon, Sense. Fitzgerald going forwards there for them, captain and hooker. Now Collins. Well, this is a completely different pack, isn't it?
Well, there's a sense of urgency about them. The legs are lower, they're really trying to go forward. They've lost it now, though, I think.
Yeah, Ledesma got in there, and when he gets in there, usually means the ball's coming his way. Great scavenger.
That's Tom Whitford, the manager of Toulon. Obviously got the earpiece on, getting instructions from above. They've got right in amongst Clermont. They haven't got their composure at all in this second half. Now, can this scrummaging change make the difference for Toulon? This is the area, obviously, you've got to make sure it does. 10 metres out from the opposition line. And this is where they really want Banquet. There he is. We'll get it. Well, actually, he's getting treatment now. That's what the last thing they want, especially to the back of the head and the neck.
Yeah, it was a bit of a clash there. The heavyweights were really starting to mean it. Fitzgerald started it off, Ledesma came in. Tovalu departs. Now then, this is Oelia.
He'll go 8, won't he?
So he will go at 8, which moves Collins across. And that's about 22 stone here. And Clermont come pouring through. The referee, the crowd didn't like it. The referee says it's okay.
Well, I think they got away with it there, Clermont, although Toulon were a little lacking in numbers at that breakdown area where the replacement Elua came through. Suddenly, I think that's Zirakashvili who's getting some treatment as well. And it's there to come through on. It's Bonaire, the senior pro, taking it forward.
Well, don't remember too many of the Clermont players needing much attention from trainers and physios in the first half, but start of this second half, and it's been non-stop. Mignoni getting the referee's viewpoint. Mignoni playing on his home turf. He's actually from Toulon. He's been at Clermont now for the best part of 5 years. Where goes Bonaire, loves that chip, but it doesn't work out for him. Now then, what can Andreu do? He's the man who sparked it all off for that Toulon try. Right at the start of the second half. They just give him license to roam. Jourdain suddenly playing at a higher pace. Collins determined to knock a couple over. Jourdain then there again. Pez on his right hand, almost intercepted as Rougerie comes up. Gonna be Toulon ball if they don't make the most of it here. Andreu throws it forward, so that is he going to come back for the first one? I'm sure he is.
Yeah, he will. He'll come back for the scrum. It was knocked on by Rougerie as he went for the intercept from this ball here. It was a risky ball at best, and Rougerie certainly knocks it forward.
Yep.
That's Williams picking it up, definitely getting it away.
Rougerie up to make the tackle again, but this Andreu is a complete live wire. You're right, he is like Shane Williams, isn't he? Similar running style. Head up, looks for the gap.
As he went down there too, sorry to interrupt, but Williams was the first one there and did really well to clear the ball, so he's learning pretty quickly, Williams.
The appearance of Elvis Vermeulen.
See, that's another difference. He's got bags of experience, hasn't he? They've got guys on the bench who've got bags of experience away from home.
He's got a dicky back though. It's the reason why he didn't play during the World Cup. Fitzgerald in there. Impressed with the way that he's played, Fitzgerald. I think that Scotland maybe left him out of their plans a little bit too early. The kick just gives it away. But Toulon got a chance now to run it all the way back. And Andreu will try and do that. Privat tackled by 5'7" Marc Andreu. Mignoni. James, first time that James has looked as though he's really got to get a move on when the ball's been coming to him in that sort of position. Knock forwards once more. Toulon just having a look to see if they can do anything with it. Instead, Collins is already poised. He's going to help them all over, and that looks like another try. Yes, says the touch judge. Yes, says the referee, and Toulon got another one in the bag.
Well, it's the substitute, isn't it?
It's got to be Bonquet.
The crowd have gone absolutely mental. Once again, look, it's Clermont ball. They kick it away. Brock James, who does it come to once again? Nobody. Third time this half that it's bounced all over the place. Bounces all over again. I thought Banquet got it wrong. Collins is there. Look at Collins. He's screaming for it just on his left. But look at his legs go. Straight over. They didn't want to know the Clermont defence. And he trundles over. He was never going to pass to Collins, was he? Never, ever. And they can't get to him, or they don't want to get to him and don't want to go low. But look at the determination on his face.
And that was Collins making sure that he went over. Almost, let me give you a hand, my man. And over they went. 13-12. Conversion to come. Pressure on Pez. Doesn't want to get too much foot kick, too much around the ball. Now then, is that going to drift? Is it going to drift? It is! It's through! Toulon in the lead. Well, what a brilliant start to the second half. 14-13, Toulon lead. David Bonquet, 23 years old, 19 stone. Been around a bit. He's played for Narbonne and Montauban in his time, and well, I don't think he's scored a more important try than that.
Well, we've seen the ball bounce so many times in this second half. It's quite extraordinary. And both tries came from loose balls as a result of kicks, because they put pressure on the kick, something that wasn't apparent in the first half at all. And now, not the pressure's on Toulon now, but it's a different game now for Toulon to manage. How are they going to manage it? Are they going to try and play safe and hold on? Dangerous, certainly. Or do they keep playing the same way and be ambitious?
Well, I think that's the answer. Babi absolutely mugged there as soon as he got hold of the ball. Toulon being willed on by this crowd. Collins in there. Privat. 19 on for Clermont is Vincent Debatty. Can't play the ball on the ground with your hand.
Cerise it was who went down to ground and tried to play the ball. Soft penalty, let them have it. They've done nothing in the second half, Clermont. We're defending well, just give them the ball. Back ourselves to make the tackles. There he is there, he's on the ground, he's fighting for the ball there. He's got to just stay away from that. Just take the risk element out of it. He's on his own anyway, there's no other Toulon player there. He's in the middle of the paddock. It's a simple kick, theoretically, for Clermont. Why have the risk? You've dominated for 12, 13 minutes. Now you can let Clermont get back in the game.
Awful lot of signalling going on.
He wants a different kicking tee, I think. Or a different ball, or both.
Well,
he's got two balls on the paddock at the moment.
You have an alternative if you wish it. So 13-0 at half-time. Now 14 minutes into the second half. Toulon are leading by 14 points to 13. What a change round. This for Clermont to go back into the lead, and Babi with very cultured right foot there makes sure that goes smack through between the posts, and back into the lead at 16-14. Go Clermont Auvergne.
Well, when I mentioned before what Toulon should do tactically, having got the lead, well, that's taken away from them now. They're going to have to, certainly I think they should play bottom third rugby. I think they should look to get it down there and put pressure on Clermont. They've been very poor in the early stages of this second half. But Toulon, fitness-wise, can they keep the intensity? how has their pre-season fitness gone, and how fit are they? Because I think it might come down to that.
No, arrêtez.
Clermont have been in this situation many a time, haven't they? Away from home in top 14 rugby.
Sortez, Noir.
Remember towards the end of last season that they were sort of drifting in and out of games and then suddenly turning it on in the last 20 minutes and running away with matches, and you were looking at the score lines and saying, well, they've done it again, and they hadn't dominated for the whole game, though the score line told you something different.
Another penalty for Clermont. It goes from back there, man in front of the kicks. They're going back for the scrum. Ledesma was quite right to point out to his colleagues that they're certainly not going to lose anything by going back down probably 10-metre line. Yeah, thought so. And this is where the scrum will be. Clermont ball, obviously.
Leave the area. Yeah, but you have to move, you know. Okay, thanks. Flexion, touché, stop, encore.
Mignoni scampers away. Collins is bossing that line, and he's in there again. Picked up by Samson. Mignoni again. Virakashvili just ran straight into a very, very determined Toulon wall. Rougerie almost grabbed it instead. Look who's got it. Marc-Andre, probably the fastest man on the field, but doesn't trust his own pace. Wow. Away they go, determined to try and get over the line, but surely Andre should have taken it on himself. Still they've got the chance. Now it's wide open. It's the other winger. It is Martin Jager in at the corner. It hurt a little bit, but when he finds out what he's done, he'll be well pleased with that.
Well, the scenes are quite astonishing. Jager's still down, his left ankle's gone. Look at that wide pass, looking for Rougerie. Andre, what a golden night he's having. Just gets cut off. I think it's Brock James coming across. No, it's not. It's Garcia, beg your pardon. And the great thing is here, it's quick ball. Look how quickly the ball comes out. No chance to reorganise the defence for Clermont. Once again, hands, and he gets in at the corner.
Yeah, the Czech international, after it looked odds on that the other winger was going to score, that's Rougerie, suddenly trying to do the clever thing, catch it behind his back, and suddenly find it was snaffled out of his grasp by Marc-Andre. I thought that if he'd have kept going, because he was accelerating, he might just have made that. He might have slipped the tackle and got there.
Well, it did a brilliant ball to Williams in the end, who also did well to control the ball. Get the ball in your right arm and you can fend off Jager, but he got there at a cost by the looks of things. And with Williams already on, they certainly haven't got an outside back on the bench, Toulon. So they're going to have to look to bring, I don't think they'll bring Henchak on at wing. He looks in some pain. Fouquet may well come on, who's the replacement fly half normally.
So looking at Jager, and what we need to know is whether the kick went over from Pez. That'll be interesting. I think it did. Stays 19-16. Oh, coming up to the hour gone. Well, what a second half.
Well, we're just about to come halfway through it.
Now, where's that going to land? That's Melzier. Sit back inside for Debati. Not quite the control on the kicks that they had in the first half now, Clermont.
Vous êtes sur avantage.
This is their ball.
Avantage terminé.
Mignoni over the top, trying to find a bit of space.
Sortez.
Oh,
They
what?
really don't like this high ball. They're really struggling underneath it.
Les gens en avant.
And there's a bit of banter between the players now. Who was calling for it? Who was coming forward? Sampson got in the way there as well. This is the try again. That's the wide ball. Jerry Collins certainly took out the Clermont player in the middle of the field as well. This is probably the replay they're showing here. It's certainly Canali. Oh, he gets a big one from Collins, doesn't he, without the ball?
Yeah. So that's the last we've seen from Martin Jaeger. Scored the try and hopped off, which means that Sebastien Fouquet has come on. Now this is his debut for Toulon. Fouquet immediately into the action. Collins. Typical All Blacks, nothing better than just rumbling around, hammering into a few people.
Jouez. Non, ne jouez pas ça.
1916, Toulon leading. Tremendous turnaround. Put into touch by Andreu.
Well, somebody's going to have to show some composure on both sides, really, because Vern Cotter, the Clermont coach, will be absolutely furious with the organisational skills under these high kicks that Toulon have done. I mean, what a contrasting kicking game as well between the two halves. Too long and too deep and no pressure in the first half, to the second half where it's just caused utter mayhem in the Clermont ranks. And they've got to settle it down. They've got the senior pros out there to do it. Ledesma throwing this one in. Magnoni at scrum half. Vermeulen's come on. Bonaire. They're all there to do it.
Ledesma up against Collins. That's a battle. Well, ball was going forwards then anyway. Toulon snaffle it back. Now the opportunity for a really good penetrating run. Here comes Collins. Where's the support coming from? Not close enough yet. Williams. And that's Oilua.
Quick ball they need. They've got to get quick ball.
Enjak's on the field. So obviously you can't see Jourdain. He's replaced him at scrum half. Now, Jerry Collins, you've got to mastermind something here. Lozada is in there, the big lock.
It's too slow now. It's too slow, the ball. Referees penalise Clermont. Now, this is where the captain earns his keep. Is he going to go for the 3 points? Collins is holding on to the ball. What's the captain? Where's the captain? Where's our man Fitzgerald? There he is. He's got to make the call. I'd go for 3 points myself. I'd get points on the board. Yeah, 22-16, they've got to score a try to beat us.
Yeah, that's the professional option.
I would certainly kick for goal. I've got no dominance in the scrum. Line out's okay, fair percentage call if they want to put it 5 metres out.
Laurent Emanuele has gone off. Effectiveness blunted in the second half. I mean, it was a pretty solid unit in the first half. Emanuele, Ledesma and Zirakashvili. But now things change.
Collins just brushing off one. Rougerie he makes the tackle, but he gets bounced, doesn't he?
He went in shoulder first, so I bet that hurt as well. Mignoni first to put in a decent tackle on Ayalua. Now Pez, well, he's had a bit of practice from this sort of angle.
He certainly has. They've not made it easy for him. Every single kick has been wide out, certainly from the conversions. This is obviously a penalty for 3.
There's a 6-point lead. The crowd say it is. and the touch judges confirm it. 22 points to 16.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. What are they winning this half? 22-3. Amazing.
Résultat Toulon les 22, AS Montferrand, Clermont, Auvergne 16.
6 points the difference then.
Good decision, Fitzgerald. Well played. They've got to score a try now if they want to win this game. Well, converted try to win this game. Clermont, long way to go though, long time to go.
We were talking in terms of Clermont getting a bonus point in this game. I don't think it ever entered my head during that first half that we'd be talking of a losing bonus point.
Well, Toulouse have already gone down today, haven't they? Well, cycling's all the rage, isn't it? All the world over. It's obviously a massive sport in France, and this is the common way now to warm up before entering the fray.
Flexion, touché, top14.
Henjak, Australian, 4 caps. Know that he's a good player, temperamentally though. Off the field, not been perfect.
Well, he's been given a great opportunity to relaunch his playing career. He certainly wasn't wanted in Australia when he got booted out by the Western Force earlier this season.
Lua, it's been pretty effective since he came on. Bonquet has looked good. He's made a massive difference. Scored one of the tries, of course. Henjak gets flattened. Collins goes on his own.
Well, Collins has really been to the fore. He's carried the ball a lot in this second half. He almost got isolated there. Certainly, Suter just came to his rescue, the number 4 there for Toulon. And you wonder, it's been physical, it's been fast, and you know, you have your pre-season games, but it's a different kettle of fish, this, isn't it, when it's all on. And Toulon know how important this game is, because 4 of their first 5 games in the T14 this year are at home. So they must get off to a good start.
67 minutes gone, Ledesma departs for the bench and Mirko Lozipone comes on to play at hooker. Now Lozipone, he's 24, born in Bari, that's Bari in Italy, not Bari the other side of Cardiff, but he qualified for Italy obviously, but he's played for France under-19, but I'm not absolutely sure. Do you want to throw him into this cauldron at this stage?
Well, I think Ledesma might come on. I saw a bit of blood on Ledesma, and I think it might just be a blood injury, so I think he may well come back. But so what stage and what the scoreline might be?
Clermont trailing by 22 points to 16. Somebody needed a call then. Sébastien Fouquet has to do the tidying up.
That's a shocker. That is a shocker. They can go from here, Clermont.
Debati just picks it up and caresses the ball away. Malzieu couldn't get on the end of it. We've seen very little of Malzieu in this match. Pez.
Oh, that's even worse.
Now, this has given them every chance. Clermont. There's the young hooker, Lozipone. Debati. Oh, and it hits the deck, and the referee says, no, wait a minute, we're going to come back because we had an offside further back here.
They didn't retreat from that awful kick from Pez. That's what it was. Those players on their left for Toulon. But 2 awful kicks. Fouquet first, the 2 big kickers. Fouquet first one, and then Pez the second one.
Pez was a real shocker.
Look at this. Cut your losses. I mean, where's that going? And a couple of players there didn't retreat, you see. The Toulon players coming forward there. They're miles in front of the kicker. That's what the penalty's for.
Yeah, already signalling the advantage there.
And interestingly, they didn't go for goal. I'd have gone for 3. 10 minutes left on the clock, 12 minutes left on the clock, plus the injury time. 22-19. This is a big line out, because I suspect it's going to be a catch and drive.
Lozipone, and referee's whistle goes. It was the first one for Lozipone and he gets it wrong.
Big call, big call. Equally big scrum coming up for Toulon. But Ledesma's off.
I think Lozapone is going to be a major star. I think he is going to be a very, very good player indeed. But it's just a question of, you know, he's got to do it at some stage, but can he do it here? Henjak got away with that. He rolled that version into the second row.
Yeah.
Non, pas bien, non, il reste debout, vous avez 40 au sol.
Don't know how many times they've been penalised for that. And a word from somebody, what was going on there? Because the referee swung round immediately.
It was Mignoni and Henjak. They were going. Mignoni wanted the ball, but Henjak, he wouldn't give it. He wouldn't give it. No, there's the think tank. Ledesma comes back on. They might go for touch now. They might go for, it was a blood injury. They may go for touch now, and they should have changed his shirt, but we won't worry about that at the moment. They don't worry about things like that in France, a bit of blood on the shirt. Most countries would have made him change his shirt as well, but Ledesma wants to get on for this line out. They've gone for it again. They're going for the win here, Clermont, aren't they?
They're taking off one of the locks. Suter, who's played well. Interesting character. José Suter, he's the man who was playing for Mont-de-Marsan last season in Division 2, who got promotion alongside Toulon. Then he signed for Racing Metro, decided he didn't want to go there because they'd lost out to Mont-de-Marsan. So there's a complete convoluted transfer saga, and he's ended up at Toulon. These things only happen in France.
Right, more changes to the big areas of the field.
That's Sims Davison coming on in the pack. Now then, can they get the drive? Combazou is in there as well. Replacement prop.
They pulled it down, Toulon, and got away with it. They pulled it down. Banquet pulled it down on this side. They'll stay patient though, Clermont. Vermeulen and Elvis is off.
Can have another little dart there. Well, just a metre out. Mignoni, I don't think he's making a lot of difference, but the ball is freed up. Now then, can they get it off the ground and over? Toulon, we trying to pin it in there. They can't do that.
Need the conversion as well, so they won't want to start thinking about going left rather than right, because the conversion will be pretty tough.
That's a tremendous tackle coming in there. I think was from Cerise.
Well played, Toulon. They held the line, made the tackles. They've got fresh legs on there with the substitutions, replacements that have been made.
Yeah, it wasn't Cerise, it was his replacement, Johan Maestri, who was playing in the under-20s during the summer, if you remember, got sent off against England. Collins in there as well.
He obviously didn't get banned for long then, did he?
I think he only got a week. Oh, he got a week, I think. A couple of other French guys who were mixed up in the match against Wales who got longer.
Now, if this was the first half, you'd say certain try Clermont, wouldn't you? But the scrum's been
completely different.
Been a bit more parity about it.
Fitzgerald doing a good job as captain, just encouraging his pack. Right, okay, he got about 8 minutes to go just to see this out. Leading by 22 points to 16. Famous victory for Toulon on the cards. Clermont still got something to say about it. The two wily old heads there, Hooker against Hooker, Ledesma against Fitzgerald. Who's going to come out on top? The moment it's Clermont. Good push round, Jerry Collins leading them round. On it goes again. Now that's just a loose throw, could have gone anywhere. Referee whistles up, and the crowd don't like it because they thought Toulon were on for a breakaway try there. Quickly taken. Remember that under the new rules you had to be back right on the try line,
which they weren't.
Behind the referee though, so that was okay. Dubati playing scrum half. As a go for it, almost got through, and then Given the knock forwards.
Came off his boot, came off Mignoni's boot. He's a bit unlucky there. Mignoni doesn't like it whatsoever, the scrum half from Clermont. And look at this crowd urging their team to victory. What a scalp this would be. What a confidence booster it would be. This is how close they are. There it comes off the boot of Mignoni. Mind you, Toulon were competing for it. Can't quite see from that angle. There was another player coming in just there. Did it touch his hand? Anyway, chance for Toulon to clear their lines. Can they have one scrum that controls it?
If I think he did give it off Mignoni's boot, but anyway.
And then maybe go back accidental offside or something.
Toulon. Oh yeah, could easily done, I suppose. Right, got to be. Defence has got to. Anybody not concerned in the scrum on the defensive side has got to be on that try line. Found, kicked.
Huge draw.
Few more precious seconds. It ticks around to 6.5. 6.5 to go.
I don't think Toulon can just play to hold on here. They've got to play some rugby. I think they just can't give the ball back. They've got to compete in every area.
Agreed. Yeah, they're not Munster. They can't do it like Munster in the Heineken final against Toulouse, can they? They just pick up and go, pick up and go, pick up and go. But now dropped it. Clermont dropped it once more. I think it was Alexandra.
Who can cope with the pressure best? That's what it's coming down to. That really was a ball that should have been held by Canali. Unlike him, he's normally solid. Pass from Brooke James was perfectly acceptable, tucked slightly high, but certainly catchable. Another scrum though, they've got to go right here and they're going to drill it down the right-hand side. Although Pez is right-footed, left-footed, so it's not his natural side unless they bring Fouquet in. That's going very deep there to Pez.
He doesn't get hold of it. Look at the way that the ball just turned over and over in the air. Kick ahead by Rougerie into the 22.
That's all right. That's good play by Rougerie. That's fine. Now he's got to hope. Okay, look at his eyes from the ball, hands high. That's textbook stuff. Get the hands high. And that's what he's done. What he's got to do now is get his boot high as well and find his touch.
Under 5 minutes to go.
And they're pushing Clermont back. You know, a couple of minutes ago they're a yard from the line. Now they're 15 metres from the line. And therefore they can organise themselves. And look at the Toulon crowd. They said this was a heartland of rugby in France. They deserve to be in the first division.
They do indeed.
Toulouse, it could be Toulouse and Clermont lose on the opening day, couldn't it? Because Toulouse lost earlier.
There's James trying to get Rougerie moving, but ducking inside. Debatty, been very impressed with him since he's come on. Exactly the right attitude, doing a bit of ball carrying now. Picked up by Privat. No holes there, and it's gone forwards. Kick comes in from Fouquet. And Toulon will be mighty relieved, I think, that went to Fouquet and not to Pez. I doubt Pez would have got that sort of distance.
He certainly wouldn't, not with his right foot, that's for sure. But look at one mistake and well played. Good advantage by the referee. Well played the referee. Fouquet saw the space in behind, and now suddenly they went from 50 from a line out. Now they've got to go for about 80 if they want to win this game.
Coming up to 3 minutes to go. Now then, who's actually got the guts to make this? Ledesma, bags of experience. Don't think his throw will go wonky in this situation.
Crowd on. Look at the crowd in the background. You can see they're all standing up. Nobody's sitting down.
Mignardi arrives on the field. Oh no, now this is his first match for Clermont, found at the back there by Bonner. Clermont have got to try and get some space. They can't start just kicking it downfield and chasing after it. Mignardi immediately nailed inside his own 22. Mignoni. It's going to be confusing, isn't it? Mignoni and Mignardi in the same team.
It's slow ball for Clermont. Toulon got plenty of time to get organised. Oh, now it's hopeful balls over the top now.
Very nearly worked though, one more pass. The tackle came in quickly and that's a good one from Lasada. Clermont still got to do it from deep. Wild pass, Rougerie can't get it.
Oh, and there was a very good tackle in the midfield. Very good tackle, which made the passer make a mistake. Rougerie's frustrated. Mind you, he's been a bit guilty himself in this second half.
Certainly partly responsible for that Jaeger try, wasn't he? Eventually a Jaeger try. It was Andre that ran away. Now this is where Mignardi just flings it as the tackle comes in. And that is not the precise Clermont passing that we got used to in so many occasions last year, where they were finding their man absolutely brilliantly. Actually going into the tackle and flipping the ball out, and the man was there in support, and on it went.
Well, I tell you what, they've got another home game this weekend coming up, and they'll be packed to the rafters once again, regardless of whether they win this game or not. Going back to that pass, it was Sonny Bill Williams who was also in his eye line, and that certainly concentrated the mind.
Another change, Mathieu Larroy, another man making his debut in the top 14 for Toulon. Another prop.
Well, you've got to think that Toulon, having win this line out, they've got control of the ball. It's counting the clock down time, isn't it? 2 minutes left on the clock. Just control possession.
Fitzgerald was in no hurry to get that ball into the line. He was just going to wait till either he was told or he felt that the referee was getting impatient.
This is where they can run the clock down, just take it round the sides. Collins setting the example.
Had to be. What a great game he's had.
25 seconds, nearly 30 seconds already taken up of the 2 minutes.
Fitzgerald, doesn't matter how far he goes, just that they keep it. Collins again. Make sure that he comes down on the right side. Henjak trying to inspire his men. Famous victory. What a difference this could make for his career. Well, wait a minute. Not all over yet. Holding on, says the referee. Henjak, there's a bit of gamesmanship there. Mignoni and Henjak, not for the first time having a clash, and the referee saw it.
Well, another 10 metres to Toulon Silly. Another 10 metres they've been given. They're going to drill it as far down and have the line out and go from there.
Into the last minute of regular time. Not got it very far.
Can the man watch? No, he's going downstairs, or he's had a word with somebody.
Partner in Manga. I think the other thing is that they've run out of bench now.
Yeah, nervous times. You've got one chance, come on.
Ledesma, Mignoni. Oh, he definitely knocked that one forwards. 15 seconds to go on the clock. Now then. And they throw the ball away. I think that was Cerise again. Collins didn't have anything to do with it.
Well, by the time the scrum goes down, they can kick it off the park, can't they? End of game.
Well, they think they've done it. Well, they should have done it.
22-3 this half to Toulon. Quite remarkable, isn't it? Quite remarkable.
Unbelievable turnaround. And, well, they might just as well keep putting it on the deck. Henjak in no hurry to get this in. Mignoni, well, you've played this game so often, Pierre Mignoni, you know exactly what it's all about. Now then, here it goes. Henjak kicks it off the field, and the referee checks and makes sure, and that is a glorious first victory back in the top 14 for Toulon. What an astonishing turnaround in the second half.
Quite remarkable from Toulon. It sets their season up brilliantly, absolutely brilliant. To be down by 13 points at half-time, to come back in the manner in which they did, score the tries that they did, and show the belief that they did, is a testament to the team spirit that they've got within the camp. They're off and running, the new boys in Division 1.
So those are the scenes at the Stade Mayol in Toulon. What a brilliant, brilliant match, and what a way for Toulon to begin in the top 14. Quite astonishing second half. 13-0 to Clermont at half-time, and it turns round into a 22-16 victory for Toulon.